Remember the last time Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving, and James Harden actually played together? Yeah, me neither. Despite the three of them being on the same team for about a year, they only played 16 games together. In those 16 games, they won 13 and posted an offensive rating of 120 points per 100 possessions, which is one of the highest in NBA history.
Tightrope. Oh, Blake Griffin! Razzle dazzle! Oh, next level! Controlled by Durant. Nets running the floor hard. Durant, the bounce, leads Irving. Oh, the English! Found gets rid of it quickly for Harden.
I did see that movie.
Oh, you did?
Couple times.
Reese Witherspoon. Oh, the jumper goes!
It's unreal to think about what they could have accomplished had they stayed together. 1 ring? 2 rings? 3 rings? We'll never know. But the real question is, what caused the downfall of this potential dynasty? Most people will tell you it was Kyrie Irving. Because of a certain decision that he made, the fans, the media, the organization, and even his own teammates completely turned against him.
I think Kyrie Irving should retire. Clearly you don't want to play basketball bad enough.
I've never heard him sound more obnoxious and more ignorant in the outline of his thoughts.
Go do it.
Right.
Don't get vaccinated. Become a conspiracy theorist if that's what you want to do. Become a visionary, an against the grain, mold breaking thinker. That's what Kyrie at heart wants to be.
But what if I told you Kyrie was actually innocent? Then I'd be a fucking idiot. The truth is, Kyrie definitely played a role in the breakup of this Brooklyn Nets team, but it wasn't the major reason. To understand how it all really fell apart, we need to go back to 2019 when KD and Kyrie first signed with the Nets. On June 30th, 2019, just a week after the season ended, KD and Kyrie, along with their friend DeAndre Jordan, signed with the Brooklyn Nets, joining a pretty solid supporting cast that included Karis LeVert, Spencer Dinwiddie, Joe Harris, and Jared Allen. However, KD wouldn't be able to play in his first year because he was still recovering from his Achilles injury that he suffered in the finals against the Raptors. So in the 2019-20 season, it was just Kyrie leading the team. And while he put up great numbers, he only played 20 games that entire season because of his shoulder injury. Despite being short-handed, the Nets still managed to make the playoffs as the 7th seed in the bubble. Without their best 2 players on the team, they were understandably swept in the first round by the Raptors. But this wasn't as bad as it sounds. In fact, it only proved just how good the supporting cast really was. And with both KD and Kyrie returning the next season, it felt like a championship was almost guaranteed. Well, except for one thing, Kyrie had a problem with the roster.
I mean, it's transparent. It's just out there. You know, it's glaring in terms of the pieces that we need in order for us to be at that next level. And I'm gonna continue to reiterate it.
Yeah, I'm pretty convinced it was on crack or something. What's even more absurd is that he and KD fired the head coach, Kenny Atkinson, and replaced him with someone who had literally 0 coaching experience. Steve Nash was without a doubt an elite player, but as a coach, he was basically this guy right here. KD and Kyrie finally suited up and played their first game together in the 2021 season opener. They absolutely destroyed the Warriors, followed by another blowout win against the Celtics. But despite the hot start, the Nets weren't living up to expectations, especially after Spencer Dinwiddie tore his ACL just 3 games into the season. So on January 14th, they pulled off one of the biggest trades in history. The Brooklyn Nets gave up Karis LeVert, Jared Allen, and every first round pick until 2027 to acquire James Harden from the Houston Rockets. Harden at that time was considered a top 5, maybe top 10 player in the league. So yeah, adding him to a prime KD and Kyrie definitely made him the best big 3 in NBA history, and of course the championship favorites. When these 3 were on the floor, the results they produced were nothing short of amazing.
Tonight, here's Durant putting moves, crossover on Giannis, and hits! Plus from...
I did see that movie.
Oh, you did?
Couple times.
Reese Witherspoon. Oh, the jumper goes!
The only thing holding them back was injuries. Because of that, they played only 8 games together in the regular season and lost 1. The Nets also picked up former All-Stars LaMarcus Aldridge and Blake Griffin just 2 months after the Harden trade, which sent the entire league into a frenzy. Fans and the media were outraged at how unfair this Nets team had become. Despite all the animosity, the Nets finished 2nd in the Eastern Conference with 48 wins and would face the Boston Celtics in the first round of the playoffs. Luckily, the big 3 of Kyrie, KD, and Harden were healthy just in time for it. They completely torched the Celtics, winning the series in 5 games, with the trio averaging a combined 84 points per game. As a cherry on top, Kyrie stomped on the Celtics logo Lucky after Game 4, showing just how much he despised his former team. But little did they know, that's when the team got cursed. Just 43 seconds into the first game of the series against the Milwaukee Bucks, Harden went down with a hamstring injury, causing him to miss the next 3 games. When he came back in Game 5, it was clear he wasn't the same anymore and he was struggling to move. Even with the absence of Harden, the Nets still managed to take a 2-1 lead after 3 games. But in Game 4, this happened.
Looked like he came down on that ankle, landing on Giannis's foot. Yep.
Kyrie stepped on Giannis's foot, spraining his ankle, and was ruled out for the rest of the series. This left KD as the only remaining one of the big 3. He was playing out of his damn mind in Game 5 and 6, and he was able to carry the team to a Game 7. But the most unfortunate, unluckiest moment came when
Durant. Here is Durant moving on Tucker. He turns, he shoots. Yes! With 1 second remaining.
because of KD's giant Mickey Mouse ass feet, his game-winning 3-pointer was changed to a 2-pointer since his foot was on the line. The Brooklyn Nets were literally inches away from advancing to the conference finals. Despite the loss, it was obvious that the Nets were on the right track. All they needed to do was to stay healthy. However, they would encounter another obstacle. Just a few weeks before the next season started, the state of New York issued a vaccine mandate that would require proof of vaccination to enter indoor facilities like the Barclays Center, which is the home of the Brooklyn Nets. Unsurprisingly, Kyrie was the only one on the team who did not take the shot due to personal beliefs, which meant he couldn't play at home as a result. The franchise and some of his teammates were definitely not fond of his decision, especially since he was still getting paid while sitting on the bench and not participating in practices. I don't want to get too political about this, but numerous people, including NBA Commissioner Adam Silver, pointed out the hypocrisy of this mandate.
The oddity of it to me is that it only applies to home players. If ultimately that rule is about protecting people who are in the arena, it just doesn't quite make sense to me that an away player who's unvaccinated can play in Barclays, but the home player can't. So to me, that's a reason they should take a look at that ordinance.
It's ridiculous. I don't understand it at all. I mean, as a few people in our arena that's unvaxxed, right? Like, they lifted all of that in our arena, right?
It's a second mandate that says he can come in but can't play.
I don't get it. It just feels like at this point now, somebody's trying to make a statement or a point to flex their authority. Everybody out here looking for attention, and that's what I feel like the mayor wants right now, some attention, you know?
Honestly, KD was 100% right about the situation. This guy here, his name is Dr. Jay Varma. He was a senior health advisor in New York City, so he played a pretty big role in implementing the vaccine that kept Kyrie off the court. Just a few weeks ago, someone leaked a video of him talking shit and basically boasting about banning Kyrie from playing basketball.
There's a basketball player named Kyrie Irving. He refused to get vaccinated, but because he played for the team in Brooklyn, because of the vaccine mandate that I passed, he was not allowed to play. So it became this huge national issue about why Kyrie Irving wasn't allowed to play basketball because he was refusing to get vaccinated. Like, this is the fun part of my life. So I got to be on, so the Wall Street Journal wrote a whole story about me being the one that blocked Kyrie Irving from playing basketball.
I just think he's ass. He's an ass because he's like trying to like I'm not in a position to tell him how to dribble better or how to shoot better. Like, I can be a fan and I can say, oh, I wish he had this, but I'm not going to be like, I can go coach him. Why is he turning around and saying that, like, I'm not going to tell him he doesn't know how to dribble and he knows how to do it. Like, don't tell me, like, how the science works.
Look, I'm not here to debate on whether taking a vaccine is good or bad for you, but passing a law that is important like the vaccine mandate just because you wanted to have fun instead of genuinely caring about public safety just doesn't sit right with me. And to further proof that he didn't give a single shit about the whole pandemic, he even admitted going to a Diddy party and popping pills during lockdown when private gatherings were strictly prohibited.
New York City found out that you're having sex parties during COVID?
Yeah, it would have been real bad. We went to some like underground like dance party like underneath a bank in Wall Street. And we were all rolling, we were all taking Molly, and everyone was high. And I was so happy because I hadn't done that in like a year and a half. So the way we do it in public health is we make it very uncomfortable to be unvaccinated. I don't expect the education to change your behavior. I'm just gonna make it really hard for you to do your job. You can't get a job, you can't go to a restaurant, you can't go to school. It's like, okay, I'm just gonna get vaccinated.
So was it technically like kind of forcing you?
Yeah, that's what you force people by making it really uncomfortable.
Like Edie said, the whole vaccine mandate thing was just someone wanting to flex their authority, and it was filled with flaws that didn't make any sense at all. Because of this, Kyrie wasn't able to play basketball until January 5th of 2022. But since New York still hadn't lifted the mandate, he was only allowed to play in away games, leaving the Nets without their star guard at home. Despite Kyrie's absence, the Nets were still doing pretty well, starting the season 19-9 before he returned. Kevin Durant didn't seem to have an issue with Kyrie's decision not to get vaccinated, but James Harden felt differently.
I'm gonna give him a shot if I got to.
Harden grew more and more frustrated, because the whole reason he came to Brooklyn was to play with the guys and win a ring, and it felt like Kyrie was more focused on his personal matters than on winning. So James Harden did what he does best, gave up on his team, played sloppy, and threw in a Lizzo fast suit. Then on February 10th, 2022, just a month after Kyrie came back playing part-time, Harden was traded to the 76ers for someone who's afraid to shoot a basketball. The big three had officially split up just a little bit over a year after coming together. Later on, the vaccine mandate was eventually removed, allowing Kyrie to play in other games he wanted to. The Nets secured a 7th seed by the end of the season with a 44-38 record. In the play-in, they took down the up-and-coming Cavs team and set up a rematch with the Celtics in the playoffs. This time though, without the help of another superstar like James Harden, KD really struggled offensively, especially in the first 3 games, scoring just 23, 27, and 16 points on horrendous efficiency. Kyrie had an excellent game 1, but after that he just fell into a slump. As for Ben Simmons, even though there were reports that he was going to come back in game 3 or 4, he was just too scared to step on the court. Unlike the previous year, the Nets ended up getting swept by the Celtics. That summer, Kyrie sought an extension with the team, but due to the vaccine situation and his off-court antics, the Nets front office refused. Unsurprisingly, he wasn't happy with their decision, but he eventually gave in and opted into his player option. Meanwhile, KD gave an ultimatum to the team to either get rid of GM Sean Marks and head coach Steve Nash, or he would request a trade. The Nets stood on business and did not cave to his demands. While both KD and Kyrie remained on the team for another half season, it was clear as day that they both wanted out. Then on February 6, 2023, Kyrie Irving, along with Markieff Morris, was traded to the Dallas Mavericks for Spencer Dinwiddie, Dorian Finney-Smith, and some picks. Just days later, on the 9th, a blockbuster trade sent Kevin Durant to the Phoenix Suns. Just like that, the Brooklyn Nets dynasty was over before it even began. Like many people, I originally blamed Kyrie Irving for the downfall of the team, but after learning more about the vaccine mandate situation, I've kinda changed my mind, I'm not gonna lie. Don't get me wrong though, Kyrie still played a part in the disbandment of the Big Three, but his role was just a piece of the puzzle, like the injuries and certain questionable decisions made by other players. For me, the vaccine mandate was the catalyst that set everything on a downward spiral. Had they not issued the mandate, I believe the trio of KD, Kyrie, and Harden could still be playing together today, and likely would have won a championship or 2. Anyways, that's all for today guys. What do you think about the situation? Let me know in the comments down below. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to give me a like and sub, and also follow my Twitter or X, whatever you want to call it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Stay goony.